It looks like Spanish Soccer Federation President Luis Rubiales might be kissing his job goodbye in the near future. Spain's Women's World Cup win was supposed to be a celebratory moment for the country, but it's turned into an ever-unfolding controversy. Players are boycotting the national team, and staff at the Spanish Soccer Federation are resigning in protest against Rubiales after he kissed midfielder Jenni Hermoso on the lips, an act she says was against her will. With the Olympic qualification process kicking off in just a few short weeks and Spain's bid for the 2030 World Cup already underway, Spain has a limited window to quell the controversy. Was the immediate fate of Spanish women's soccer sealed with a kiss? Sit back, relax, and take this in. By now, you're probably familiar with the images of the infamous kiss, which happened during the post-match ceremony following the FIFA Women's World Cup final in Sydney, Australia. Video of the Spanish players receiving their medals after their 1-0 triumph against England showed Hermoso and Rubiales embracing. He then places both hands on her head and draws her in for a smooch. He grins and pats her on the back as she moves away. Rubiales wants you to believe it was consensual, while Hermoso says it definitely wasn't. In an Instagram live video following the match, while Spanish players were celebrating in their locker room, Hermoso expressed her discomfort with the kiss, saying she didn't like it and was uncertain what to do. Players around the world and Spain's government leaders have rallied behind Hermoso, while demonstrators have thronged downtown Madrid, urging Rubiales to resign. The unfolding saga has been prominent in headlines across Europe, fueling fervent discussions on the treatment of women in sports. That's partially because the story has so many ups and downs, and partially because it's actually one small story and a much larger one involving the Spanish women's soccer team. Hermoso and her family have been subjected to attempts by the Royal Spanish Football Federation to exonerate Rubiales in the court of public opinion, but she's not bowing to the pressure. She said in an early statement released by the Spanish Federation, where she was quoted as saying the kiss was a totally spontaneous mutual gesture because of the immense joy that winning a World Cup gives, was falsely attributed to her. But Rubiales, who also received backlash for grabbing his crotch in celebration while Spain's 16-year-old Princess Sofia was present, isn't giving in. He initially said the kiss was nothing more than getting carried away in the moment. As pressure against him built, he made a speech to the members of the Soccer Federation claiming he was the target of a social assassination and reportedly proclaimed, "I will not resign," to much applause. He also proposed that Hermoso had instigated the kiss by lifting him off the ground and asserted that she answered yes when he inquired if she would like him to plant one on her. Hermoso says, "Look at the footage, that is not what happened." That's a bit of a deadlock, it seems. The Spanish Soccer Federation originally sided with Rubiales, saying that he's not lying and they could launch legal action against Hermoso. FIFA has sided with Hermoso, suspending Rubiales for 90 days while its disciplinary committee investigates. Rubiales' mom added a new twist when she locked herself in a church in their hometown and started a hunger strike, proclaiming she'd remain there until what she calls the inhumane hounding of her son ends. As it turns out, the late summer Spanish heat quickly took its toll on her. Spanish prosecutors have said they've opened a criminal investigation into Rubiales to determine if there is sufficient evidence to charge him with sexual assault. Following that news, the National Federation did ask him to step down. He hasn't yet. On the more professional side of things, many individuals from the Spanish Women's Soccer Union said they wouldn't participate in any upcoming matches as long as the present leadership continues to hold their positions. Borja Iglesias, a forward for Spain's men's national team, pledged his allegiance too. This isn't the first controversy for Spain's women's soccer team. Following Spain's elimination in the Euro 2022 quarterfinals by eventual winners England, a group of 15 players opted to distance themselves from the national team, contingent on forthcoming changes. Those women became known as Las 15. While they refrained from explicitly demanding Rubiales' ousting or that of manager Jorge Vilda, it was inferred that the Spanish football environment hadn't provided the players with the necessary confidence, determination, and motivation to continue. In response, Rubiales and the federation publicly parted ways with the 15 players and assembled a new national team. A few of those 15 did make the decision to return, and along with the new call-ups, comprised the group who took the field to win against England in Sydney. The group now threatening resignation has ballooned to 81, including the entire World Cup roster. Spain can't drag its heels too long on a resolution. Olympic qualifying for European women's teams kicks off September 22nd. Looking further ahead, Rubiales is a vice president of UEFA and has been leading a joint bid by Spain, Portugal, Morocco, and possibly Ukraine to host the 2030 World Cup. This controversy could complicate those plans with the vote scheduled for 2024. As Spaniards throughout the country choose sides, players from around the world are signaling their support with the hashtag #It'sOver. But for Spanish soccer, it could be just beginning.